So I'm going to take myself over to my mat. I'm going to do my usual thing. We're going to just take a few shoulder rolls, a few head rolls, and just start to get yourself in the headspace. It's a little bit of a wiggle of your bum, maybe. Just loosen up, give your hands a little shake, and first and foremost, let's take some nice big sighs. So I'm breathing in, and I'm just taking a sigh. Just let it out, breathing in. Big sigh. Good, and in. Big sigh. And another one of those, breathing in. Big sigh. That's good. So I'm just going to take some little twists. Gentle swings. All of these things, I think I might have said it last week. If you're feeling a bit wound up or stressed or just sick of being sat in front of a desk, if that's what you do all day, just standing up and doing this for like 30 seconds, little swings, shoulder rolls, big sighs, can actually just give you the world of good, and then let those settle down and rest into the center. Okay, let's take our mind down towards our feet. I'm going to have a look at my feet today and just let them roll in and out. So really rolling in towards the inside arch of your foot and then really pressing out. Give those toes a wiggle, really stretch them out so they're like web feet. I'm trying to find that parallel position that suits you. So you might find that naturally you're a little bit more like 10 to 2. And we want to try and just slightly bring it in just ever so a little bit so that you're really tracking in that nice alignment when we move forward. But it might feel a little bit odd. So just find your happy place, like somewhere in between. Yeah, good. And we're just going to take a gentle move from side to side. Really, really soft. Really easy. So see if you can get to that point where you don't feel like suddenly you're going to fall. Like, where is your center point? Yeah, good. So really finding that softness. Softening your knees, soften your middle right now, soften your belly, relax your glutes. Imagine your ears are drawing away from your shoulders and your shoulders away from your ears. So you're just naturally lengthening in the neck. Good, and just let that sort of swinging seesaw-like action just melt back until you find that point where you're in the center. Lush. Okay, great. So we're going to move our mind to our heads. We're just going to start by saying no with the head, so just gentle mobility. And remembering, tracking your imaginary horizon. So either imagining that you're in your favourite place, which has an amazing view, wherever that might be. Imagining that one day you might be back in that favourite place with a lovely view. And for now, you can be tracking what's in your space. So seeing everything, seeing a lampshade, seeing a mirror, seeing a candlestick, seeing a daffodil, whatever it might be. Make this last one your last one. And bring it back to the centre, and then just gentle yes with the head. So not letting your chin drop all the way to your chest and not letting your head just snap back. So just really finding that happy medium in your movement. Good. Just make this your last one. And bringing it back to centre. So today we're going to take your hands onto your ribs. We're going to just remind ourselves about the nice thoracic breathing that LP was always very good at reminding us about. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose and to really fill those lungs and feel your ribs expand. And then out. That's good, breathing in. And out. So keep breathing at your own pace. And as you're going, really focusing on how wide your rib cage is and letting those fingers knit back together as you exhale. Try not to let your shoulders creep up towards those ears. Try and think about your shoulders expanding outwards rather than upwards when you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, drawing them down. Another big breath. Send those shoulders outwards. Let it go. And let the arms melt away. Lovely. Right, so bring our focus into our TBA. So that nice big belt that we wear around our middle, we said last week about your core being every part of your center, from here all the way down to here, like a giant wrap that goes around your center, or thinking like an apple core. So rather than us thinking about this patch here, it's everything that holds us up in the center, right round into your back. So with that in mind, I want you to pull everything in, so all the way around. Imagine that big belt is being pulled to its tightest notch. Pull, 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 and feel everything tighten. Let it go to about 50%. And then another 20%, let it go. And then let everything relax. That's good. And then find that center point again. So pulling everything in. So pulling everything. Think about your back. Think about your sides pressing in. Think about your center, your belly button and your spine. Really squeezing as if they're trying to give each other a little kiss. And let it go to 50%. Maybe another 10% or 20% more. Find that point where you feel just about, I could just about engage that if you ask me to. Try and relax the glutes a little bit if you can. Okay, so keeping that nice feeling of your core being engaged, we'll focus on your pelvic floor. So thinking of your pelvic floor as being an elevator, squeezing all the way up. All the while, just keep your breathing really easy. All the way up to the highest floor, to the penthouse suite. And let it drop down to about halfway. And another 10%. And then let it go. I'm still thinking about that little core. I can just about keep mine going. I'm going to go up to that top floor again. Ready? So bring it all the way. And that feeling like you need a wee. So really squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. You probably feel your core engage a little bit more. All part of the same process, all part of the one body. And then let it go down to about halfway. Tiny little bit more until you feel like, yeah, I've definitely got my core there. And I've got my pelvic floor there. Yeah, lovely. So whenever I say that to you today, think about that pelvic floor, think about that core. It's just that feeling you've got now is absolutely perfect. Okay, so trying to keep that feeling, we're just going to move our energy into our shoulders. Take a couple of shoulder rolls to begin with. So really draw those shoulders up towards your ears and then pulling them down into your lower back. Breathing in as they come up. Out as they go down. Drop your chin just ever such a little bit. Give it a little bit more space to move. Good. Now we're going to really bring in those elbows. Really nice big circles. It's that really easy point where you don't want to overdo it. Just feel like, that feels nice. So don't go too far. Don't hold your breath. And now we're going to do the whole arm rotation. So letting them brush past your ears. Thinking about that TBA, that nice big belt, just holding you nice and steady, giving you all the strength and power you need. Nice deep breaths. Okay. So now we're going to do our sequence. So we're going to do a shoulder roll, one elbow roll, one arm, and then we're going to take it down into a nice squat. So I'm sitting my butt back, my bum's stretching backwards, I'm reaching forwards with my arm, my eyeliner's down, and then I'm going to rise up, take my hands up with me, pressing through my heels to there, and then let it go. Good, and again, breathing in. Here we go down to a squat. Lift, sending my fingertips towards you, sending my bum far back as I can. Take a breath in. As I breathe out, I push the floor away. Just stand up, pulling that TBA in, lifting up, releasing the arms. Lovely. And again, breathing in. Elbows. Arms. Pressing down. Breathing in. Pressing away to stand. And release. Good. Another one of those. Breathing in. Down we go. Sure there's a nice gap between your knees. Breathing in. Breathing out. Pressing the floor away. Now this time, can you take it up into a little rise? So press the floor away through your feet, find that center, find that nice balance. Drop your shoulders, try not to wear your shoulders as earrings. And release. We'll do another 2 of those with the rise. Sending it down into a nice deep squat. Butt goes backwards. Fingers towards you, lengthen through the spine, shoulders are down. Breathe in, breathe out, coming up. Send that energy up through your fingers. Gentle rise, shoulders come down. That's it. Lovely. Try not to roll those ankles. Squeeze that pelvic floor, that's going to help. And lower. Lovely. One more of those. Breathing in. Down we go. Stretching, stretching, stretching. Think about those shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out, press away. Keep pressing as you go up into a rise. Squeeze that pelvic floor to help you balance. Squeeze that TBA. And let it go. Good. Woo. That was lovely for the nice and warm. Just give me a little shake. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of hip opening ones. I know we know those ones really well, and we're going to do a little bit more on the arms. I'm just going to leave your arms for a minute because I'm very aware of my arms right now. So we'll give them a rest. So you can either keep your hands on your hips if that's comfortable, relax towards your side. If you do want to hold them out for balance, or you do feel more comfortable holding something for balance, then make sure you do that. I'll keep my hands on my hips to keep them out of my way. So I'm lifting up onto my toe, little release, turn it out, and a little lift. So it's just a hip opener. Now remember, you've got an extension of this movement where you can lift up, off of the floor, then bring it down to turn it out, and then out towards the side. So you've got a couple of options there. So whichever one you're doing, if you're lifting your foot and actually taking proper elevation, just be careful of your hips. You don't want your hips to go with it. I like to think of your hips as headlights, and they're pointing directly towards me all the time. So that's where this hip opener comes in. So we're just feeling that extra space in there. So just in your own time, that looks good to me. Either with a lift or just keeping that toe on the floor if you feel more comfortable with the toe on the floor. Do 3 more on this side. Lift and opening out. That's it in your own time. Try not to hold your breath if you can help it. Think about that nice tightening of the band around the core. Think about that pelvic floor coming up an extra little level if you feel like you've just forgotten that for a moment. Make this your last one, and rest. We're going to go on to the other side. So lift, release, turn it out, to take it up. Good. So if we really like to think about the breathing out on the exertion, so out on the up, in on the down. You'll find that you've probably got a side that's better than the other. That's great. That's good. We're only human after all. That's it. You find it easier to have your arms out in order to do that. I find it easier with my arms out, I have to say, but that's, I think, probably a dancer thing. We often have our arms out like aeroplanes most of the time. Just think about that pelvic floor, about pulling your shoulders down into a spine, your chin is on a shelf. Try not to grip with the toes on your supporting leg. Try and really spread those toes out. We'll do 3 more. That's lovely. Last one for me. And finishing up there. Very nice. Okay, just give your feet a little wiggle, give your shoulders a little wiggle. It's important to just release any tension, because I tend to hold a lot of tension in my glutes. I know that, so just be aware of where you hold it, give it a little shake if you need to. So we're going to work on your arms now. So I'm going to take my arms out. Palms are facing downwards to begin with, and little tiny circles. So I want you to imagine you've got golf balls on the end of your fingers, and you're just sort of golf ball size little circles with that middle finger. Send the energy out through your fingers. So imagine your arms are lengthening. Try not to grip in your toes, try not to grip in your glutes. Try and think, if you want to grip in your core, think grip in your pelvic floor. That's good, send it the other way. Nice deep breath. Little tiny circles, good. Don't let your shoulders ride up towards your ears. Imagine those lovely, big, strong shoulder blades drawing down into the small of your back. And then we're going to press forwards. So be careful that you're not doing this. Keep your chin really still. It's like a little tapping action. So a little tapping, or tapping a little button. Little tapping action going forwards. Don't hold your breath. And that's it. If you feel like you're holding that tension, remember, send that energy into your core, send that energy into your pelvic floor. And just tapping backwards. So gentle rotation. Really start to feel it in the tops of your arms. That's it. Very nice. Relax your glutes if you can. Send the energy out the top of your head, out of your fingers, turning them up towards the ceiling. Little lifts, little taps. That's good. Little time, that's excellent. No one's wafting. It's a very difficult one to not waft. We're nearly there. So think about your shoulder blades doing the hard work, not your arms. Send your focus into your shoulder blades. They're really big and really, really strong. So just send your mind to them. And last bit, tapping down. That's it. Tap, 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 tap. That's it. Breathing, breathing. Think about that pelvic floor. Think about your shoulder blades. Think that this will be over soon. It's okay. 3, 2, and 1, and let it go. Oh, yes. Very nice. Yeah, that was a good one. It's such a hard one, but it's very, very good. Right, we're going to do our usual going down, where we go into our roll with our press-ups, okay? I really like this way of going down, and I know LP does as well. So I'm going to keep you on your usual. Just move my question over there. I think everybody knows what they're doing. Yes, we haven't got any newbies today. Oh, well, apart from Paddy, but I'm hoping they'll have remembered it. Let's go through. So I'll go through nice and slowly. Most of you are very confident with this, so please feel free to work through it as you like. So I'm taking my eye line out to begin with. So find my center, my weight's on 2 feet. Gentle drawing in of my core, my pelvic floor. Drop my chin towards my chest. Let the weight of my head draw my arms and fingers down towards the mat until I feel that gentle pull at the backs of the legs, and I soften in my knees. And imagine that your pelvis is full of a big bowl of water, so you've got to be ever so careful. When I get there, I'm going to take 3 press-ups. Now you can do 3 press-ups of your choice. I prefer a tricep dip because my space allows it a bit better. And whatever we're doing, we spoke last week about lining up your nipples between your hands, not your chin. Then when you've done your 3, be carefully reversing that action, keeping your pelvis very still. Finding that gentle stretch and then rolling up 1 vertebra at a time, like a bike chain. Find that point, stand really tall. Take a breath, down we go. So I'm doing box press-ups when I get there. Obviously, you can do full press-ups. You work at whatever is best. For your breathing, we're breathing in on the down, out on the up. So think of sniffing on the way down and then blow the floor away. Pulling that TBA in really tight, gently on the way back. Keep it really even, really still. No drops of water left. Slowly rolling up, head is last of all. I'm going to do 2 more of these in your own time and then take yourself back into a child's pose to have a little rest. Make sure you have a moment where you really look at those knees. Keep your focus on those knees until you take yourself out. Big sniff. Pulling my pelvic floor in all the time, especially when I'm pressing up. Your core will be doing lots of hard work all by itself. It's a very clever thing. Slowly back in. Making sure I'm rolling up really slowly. So the very last thing to come up is my head. Don't miss out a vertebrae. It's not fair. They'll only fight. Last one. Nice and long. Nice big stretch. Carefully out. Keep that pelvis super still. Last presses for me. And then when you're ready, just sitting yourself back into child's pose. So separate your knees. Just give your belly some space so that you can really relax into it. Forehead towards the floor. Don't overstretch your fingers, but do let them go for a little walk. Really pressing your tail towards your heels and your fingertips are reaching towards the edge of the mat. Just stay there for a moment. Have a little sigh if you like. I fancy a sigh then. And rest. Here comes Bacon again. This is his favourite moment of the week, I think. Let's see if he joins me again today. Okay, when we're, don't know where he's gone. When we're ready, we're going to go, oh no, it's all right to say. We're going to go back into our box shape. So we're going to do some cat camel again today. These are really, really good for lower back pain, any back pain. So we're going to do these and really get them going. So I'm in a lovely box shape. I feel really strong. I'm drawing my shoulders down into my back. And if you're not sure about how that feels, sometimes taking a little shoulder roll will really help you just feel supported in your shoulder blades. So I take a nice deep breath in, and as I breathe in, I look up and I let the natural curve in my spine. I don't force it, but really feel that nice curve in the spine. As I breathe out, I reverse that action. So I'm pulling my belly button up towards the ceiling as far as I can, dropping my chin and looking towards my legs. Breathing in. And letting that relax. Have a little moment there. Breathe in again. Breathe out and uncurl. That's good. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let the eye line go as well. So you'll feel it whether you've got lower back pain or not in your lower back. And it's just your lower back being really not very used to this kind of mobility. So now just working in your own time through those two shapes. And be aware of a feeling in your lower back that is unusual. If it feels really uncomfortable, then obviously don't do it. I am very aware of how it feels in my lower back, but I'm very confident. I know that it's just waking it back up after a day sat in front of a laptop. Not my ideal. So I'm going to do 2 more of those in your own time. So it should feel really nice, really moved, really woken up. And out. Now I'm going to just take a little swoop around with your hips in one direction and a little swoop around in the hips in the other direction. I'm going to do that again. So I swoop around with the hips in one direction, little circle, and in the other direction. Little circle. Okay, staying in this position, we're going to thread the needle. So I'm going to take my hand that's furthest away from you. I'm going to feed it between my wrist and my knee, bending in my supporting arm until I can get my shoulder on the floor and my ear on the floor. And when I'm there, I'm going to take a nice breath and then breathe out. And the next breath in, I'm going to prepare to come back to that center point as I breathe out. So I'm going to go the other way. Breathing in, threading my hand through until I can get my shoulder and my ear onto the floor. Nice deep breath in and out. Breathing in again, coming up on the out breath. Lovely. Do that again. Here we go. And thread the needle. As far as I go. Really try and get that shoulder and your cheek, your ear onto the mat. Breathing in. And coming up. Last time on this side, breathe in. And out, threading through. So this gets really good mobility in your spine, really increasing the range of movement. When you've had a breath there, breathing in once again. And breathing out to come up to center. Just taking yourself back into child's pose again. So separate the knees to allow the torso a little bit of space. And like I said last week, don't feel like you have to sit really still there. I like a wiggle. Have a wiggle if you're a wiggler. Also, sometimes you might feel like having your arms stretched out above you. It's like, oh, it just doesn't feel quite right. So if that's right, then relax them. You can also put them down by your side this way. So you'll find the position that's actually more relaxing. For me, this is more relaxing. This feels like my body doesn't even have to do anything. So find where your place is. For some of you, none of it will be relaxing. I appreciate that. I'm mostly thinking Paddy at this moment, whom I can't see, but I know he'll be not enjoying it. So we're going to do a little bit more in that box shape. So I'm aware that your wrists are probably not appreciating life very much at the moment, so do feel free to give them a little love, give them a little bit of a moment. So we're going to do a little bit of work on your legs today. So we're going to do, excuse me, a couple of different leggy things, and the first one will be in all fours. So if you want to watch first and then join in when you're ready, I'll go back out to that box shape. And I'm going to start by extending one of my legs backwards. So it's just dipping in the water, tapping on the floor. I'm pulling my pelvic floor in. I'm just tightening up that TBA a little bit. I'm sending my shoulders down so I feel really strong and secure. And then we're going to do a little breath in. As we breathe out, we do 3 little pressing kicks towards the ceiling. Breathe in and out to kick. Breathe in. And out again. And keep going, just doing that. So this is a really good one. This is getting some strength in your lower back. It's helping to increase your strength in your glutes, which supports your lower back. And if you keep pulling in that pelvic floor, it's also helping to work your thighs too. And you can probably feel it in your arms and definitely your wrists. So you're going to do a couple more there. Good, okay, and just resting it down there. So we'll have a similar thing, we'll have a little rest. I don't know if these are called donkey kicks, but I've decided to call them donkey kicks today. So your donkey kicks, exactly the same action in terms of you breathing in and then breathing out and doing 3 little presses, just changing the shape of the leg. So your leg is going to be pressing up towards the ceiling. So it's just changing where we're working. It's kind of bringing the attention down into your hip flexor. So we take a breath in. As we go out, we do as if you're trying to put a little footprint on the ceiling. So we're squeezing that foot up. Nice bend in the knee. And if we can, especially in this action, if you can imagine, you've got a nice cup of tea, just sat on the base of your back. You've got to keep it still, or maybe it's a ball of football. And you've got to really try and keep it as still as you can. One more there. Very nice. And take one more little rest. Oh, my wrists are knowing all about this. We're going to one more on this leg, and then we're going to move on to the other leg. So, slightly different. So I might extend my leg out, I'm coming all the way in and I'm doing this camel stretch again. So I'm bringing my nose towards my knee and then stretching it out. Now if you want to work a little bit harder, then you're going to send that leg off of the floor and be long. So you can either keep the knee in towards the chest and then tap it down towards the floor, or the knee in towards the chest and stretch it out off of the floor. So as we go, you're breathing in, we're really drawing your belly button up, and breathing out, and lengthening. So it's wherever your toe is, whether it's on the floor or it's reaching out, imagine you're like a tug of war between your head and that toe. You're really feeling like your whole body's been stretched out, really wrung out today. You know, like if you wring a flannel out or a dishcloth, get it all out. One more there. And out. Woo! That's a good one. Oh, I like that. Right, just give a little attention to your shoulders, a little attention to your wrists, as I'm definitely feeling it in mine. We're going to quickly try and get through those on the other leg, and then we're going to be going down and giving arms a rest. Legs not so much, but definitely arms. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take it back out onto my position. That's it. If it's too much on your wrist, it is something that can be done on your elbows if you prefer. All of this can be done on your elbows. This one is slightly more difficult, but maybe by the time we get to there, you'll feel like you can go up on your wrist, but it can all be done on your elbows if that's more comfortable. So take that option if you prefer. So I'm in my nice box shape. I take a breath in. I extend that leg out. Straight leg kick. Breathing in. Up we go. Think about the shoulders coming down into your back. Long neck. Try and keep it nice and easy. I know it's hard going. But try and really think about the muscles that are having to work. And try not to take your focus too much into your legs. Think about that core doing lots of work for you, supporting you, working really cleverly and really hard. One more here. And rest. Have a little rest if you need to. And then we go straight up into my donkey kick. So I'm breathing in and press into the ceiling. And in. Think about those shoulders. Don't let them tuck up towards your ears. Very good. That's it. Keep going. Think about that nice still back. Try not to let your back arch. Try not to get it all go into your shoulders. Try and lengthen out through the top of your head. Be like a lovely coffee table. A really expensive one. Two more here. Last one. Very good, well done. Oh, one more exercise in this awful position. Give yourself a little break. I'm mostly giving my wrist a break, to be honest. Right, last little bit, and then we're going to be having a nice rest with the cushion. So I'm tucking my knee in towards my chest. I'm going into that lovely curve. My nose towards my knee. I'm pulling everything in, sending it away, uncurling. And remember, you can keep that toe on the floor, or you can elevate it, whichever you prefer. That feeling of wringing out a dishcloth when you stretch. Really feel it through your center. Really focus on the breathing. Breathing in, tucking in, breathing out. Long, 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 long. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. One more of those. Breathe in and out. Whoa, my goodness me. Well done, that was very good. Obviously, I don't do the whole class in the day. I sort of mark it through and know what I'm doing. So it isn't until this point I feel exactly what it feels like. So yeah, that was pretty heavy going on the wrist. Apologies. Okay, have a quick drink. Now's a great time to have a little drink. Grab your cushion. I'm gonna get cozy up this end first. I'm gonna do a little bit of leg work. Slightly different to what we've done before, a couple of similar things as well. Because I know we've done a lot of legs there. And then we'll move on to some more core stuff. So I'm going to take my cushion down there, and you'll be pleased to know that we're up on the elbow only for a little bit. Okay, so in fact, I keep my cashmere socks on, check me out. How posh am I? My cashmere socks. Now my feet are squishy. Okay, so you can see what my toes do. I'm up nice and tall. So I'm making sure that there's a beautiful space between my ear, my shoulder, making sure there's a nice line. I'm feeling kind of comfortable. All the usual things, you know what to do. We're going to do a couple of leg raises. So nice, easy ones like we normally would. So remembering that you're breathing out on the down, as if you're compressing and all the air is coming out. That's good, so nice and easy. And if you can, just let that leg hover rather than let it crash on top of the other. That's good. We're only going to do a couple of these, so we've done a lot of leg work. Excellent. 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, for this next bit, you're going to get to come right down and get comfy. So head in towards your cushion so we can focus on the lower half of the body. So I'm going to breathe in. When I breathe out, I lift my top leg. Not too high. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift the bottom leg. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower. Very nice. And again, breathe in. Lift the top leg. Breathe out. Oh, breathe in. Lift the bottom leg. That's it, breathe out. Breathe in. Lower both. Very nice. And again. So really use the breath here. Squeeze in here in your obliques. Good. We're going to do one more of those. Try not to grip your pillow. I'm telling you that because that's exactly what I'm doing. Try and let that grip be sent down into towards your core and your pelvic floor. All right, very good. Okay, just give your hips a little shake. I really could feel that right up here. It's quite incredible. So yeah, I can see Leslie's like, oh yeah, I can feel that just there. Okay, we're gonna do the nice, I don't know what these exercises are called, like I said, that this one where we stretch forwards and we pull it back with a stretch foot. So I'm going to swing forward with a flex foot, change to a stretch foot, and then pull it back. So I'm pointing on the way back and it goes further than my underneath leg. So flex to go forward and stretch to go back. Now I'm able to get my leg fairly far forward. So just go to where you're comfortable. And so if it's only to here or here, that's fine. Find your place where you're not rocking and rolling all over the place. Use this hand. Try not to grip your pillow for dear life. And out. It's quite a nice one. I say, probably maybe one or two of you might be cursing me thinking I'm mental. I think this is a nice one. 2 more. Last one. Oh yes, there's a lot of hip action today. Okay, do whatever you need to do on that leg, even if it's lying on your back and having a little roll around to just loosen up all of that tension, all of that hard work. Okay, staying rested into your cushion. We're going to use this action, then we're going to get to really rest that top leg. So we'll do the nice squeezes that we normally do, because I think these are dead important ones to do. And so we take a nice deep breath in. Close your eyes and really focus on that feeling of like you need a wee. And does anything happen with that stretched underneath leg? But bearing in mind that the foot is relaxed, everything is relaxed. It's almost like your leg's gone to sleep. No tension. Just see if anything can happen. If there's a little tiny shake or anything at all, even if it's just the top half of the leg, just a murmur, that's brilliant. So really feel that pelvic floor draw right up to the penthouse. Get it up there as you get that leg off the floor. Draw it in really tight. Yeah, and if you feel that, getting it right up to the top floor, you might feel that there's more action in the leg. Okay, the next time you've managed to pull up into the pelvic floor and you've got some feeling, if your foot's off the floor, if not, then just engage your thigh a little bit and get it off the floor. And I just want you to make little circles. Little circles. So a little bit bigger than a golf ball this time. Let's say we're on a tennis ball. Little circles with your toes. If you want to engage a little bit harder, if you flex that foot and you imagine drawing these circles with your heel, you're going to feel it a little bit more intensely. That's up to you. And then send it back the other way. That's it for 5, 4, 3, keep pulling in, 2, and 1. Oh, yes. My legs are feeling very warm. Excellent. Right. Before we flip over to the other side like a pancake, we're going to sit in the middle. So we'll need you to get your big fat book to sit on if you prefer, or you can use your cushion. So just get up in your own time. Use this as a moment to grab a sip of water again if you need to. That's it. Where's Tina? Here she is. Tina is spending a lot of time in my life at the moment. You guys should come to my class on a Friday where I just dance around in the living room with other people. And I've been doing Proud Mary choreography from Tina Turner, and it's possibly the highlight of my life each week. And it's very, 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 very funny. So please do come and join. Make Friday nights feel like an actual Friday night. Okay, so I'm sat up on my book. I'm just feeling a bit more comfortable. I'm letting that space appear. We're going to do a little bit of work to release your neck whilst we're sat in the middle today. Excuse me. So we'll start off by placing one hand here on brushing the tip of my ear. Take a breath in. Now, not pulling the neck away, but just letting gravity do some work and the weight of your hand on your head also. Now extend this arm out to the side, and again we're doing little circles like a golf ball shape, size circle. And all that does is it just moves the stretch around within where all those muscles are and all those tendons and all that tension is. So think of your fingertips just going further and further away from your earlobe, and then send those circles back in the opposite direction. Gentle pull of the neck. Closing your eyes if you can. And imagine that space just getting bigger and bigger between your shoulder and your ear. And then let the little circles come to an end. Gently remove your hand from the top of your head, but leave your head where it is. You'll probably feel like this funny tingling feeling in the top of your head, hard to describe. And then finding your center. Very nice. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So take a breath in. Breathing out, just resting my hand over the top. My fingertips are brushing my ear. Breathing in again. Breathing out. So it's not a pull. It's gravity and you working together. And then when you're ready, extend that arm and just show me those little circles, little golf ball circles. And as you relax into it, just feel that space again between your shoulder and your earlobe, just getting greater and greater and longer. So focus on your fingertip. Fingertips on both hands, so one being far away from the other, and then send those circles the other way. So little golf ball circles, just getting some attention in those tiny little hard-working muscles. So you can pull your shoulder blades into your spine if you can too, just to gain that tiny extra centimetre. And let that working hand just rest. Gently remove your fingers from the top of your head, but keep your head where it is. Rest your hands. And then coming back to center. Ooh, I feel like my head is floating. So I'm going to take some nice shoulder rolls in the middle here. Really deep shoulder rolls. And then sending them back. That's it. Feel that action. Get your mind towards the bottom of your shoulder blade and feel like the bottom of your shoulder blade is trying to climb over your shoulders. Really gain some action. That's good. Then we're going to just take your shoulders up towards your ears and then blow them away. And again, breathe in. Blow them away. We're going to do 2 more of those. Breathe in. Get them right up to those earlobes. Blow it away. And 1 more. Really let it out this time. Send it away. Very. Well, that feels nice. I like the violence involved in that. That was good. Okay. So I'm going to grab my cushion. I'm going to take myself down for this side. Do all the leggy bits on the other side. So Tina, you can go away until Friday. Will I do Tina this Friday? No, I don't think I will do Tina this Friday. I'm feeling a bit of Earth, Wind and Fire though. If any of you are into September, heard that on the radio today. Great song. Right, I'm coming into this shape first of all. I've got my fingers rested here. Actually, do you know what? After doing all that on that side, I can feel it in there like it's something that's been stretched. So we just do our gentle, normal leg raises to begin with. So gently up and down. So these can be as high as you want, but what you don't want is your body to be rocking with it. So you've got to keep everything here nice and still. So I'm lengthening up in here. I'm not slouching. I'm drawing my shoulder away from my ear. And that feeling of length, right from that toe, all the way up the top of my messy bun. And that's it. Think about that pelvic floor. Think about where it is. Is it at the penthouse? What floor is it on? Is it somewhere between? I'm going to feel it on this leg a lot quicker. I'm already feeling it. 3 more. Try not to rock. Last one. Oh yes, I'm definitely feeling that on this side. Okay. Taking myself into my nice, crunchy, comfy place. Okay. So I'm taking that top leg up first. Remember, don't go too high. Breathing in, breathing out and lift. Breathe in, breathe out to join. Breathe in, breathe out to lower. And again, breathe in, out to lift. Breathe in, out to join. Breathe in, out to lower. Good, we're going to do 3 more of those in your own time. So think about that pelvic floor and your TBA, that lovely big belt that's keeping you nice and still. Try and send the focus away from your legs and into your center, out the top of your head. Think about your shoulders coming down into your spine. So just send all of your thoughts away from where you're really feeling like it's hard going. I don't know if I've done 3 or 2, so I'm going to do 1 more for good measure. If you've only done 3, then please just do 3. Okay, very nice. Give your knees a little squeeze, whatever you feel like you need to do. And then we're going to go into our nice scoopy one. So I'm scooping forward and I'm stretching back and it's going further away. So I'm like a pair of scissors, breathing in and out. Now you'll always find that for me on this side, it's much more difficult for me to send my leg as far forward as I can on the other side. And that's all right. So I just need to find my points where I don't want to push it any further. I don't believe in if you're shaking or anything like that, that it's a good thing. I don't really believe in no pain, no gain. I much better believe in listen to your body. If it doesn't feel nice, then don't do it. Or have a rest and join back in when you feel ready. So I'm thinking about my nice big belt. Especially when I send that foot backwards. I'm really squeezing in. 2 more of those. Last one for me. Good. Okay, little squeeze if you need to, little shake and a rub, whatever you feel. Lovely. Okay, just relaxing over this way. That's it. And I'm going to take my mind in, very in. This is all good mindfulness. So I'm focusing on my pelvic floor. I took a nice deep breath in. Breathing out and squeezing, taking it right up to the penthouse and seeing if anything happens with my underneath leg. And again, because you're working different side of the body, you might find that this side you get more movement. That might also be because your head's more ready to do it. Like it does take a bit of a change of gear to get into this exercise. And think about using your glutes as well as your very, very top of your inner thigh. Just all of those working together to get a little bit of something going on with that underneath leg. Next time you're in that pulling up feeling, I want you to hold it there. Try and take your foot off the floor. You might have to engage your legs a little bit. And then we're drawing a nice golf ball sized circle. Let's take it up to a tennis ball, shall we? I'm sure we did tennis balls. There's all lots of balls going on today. Remember, if you want to work a little bit more intensely, just flex that foot and think about drawing the circles with your heel. Don't forget about that pelvic floor. Don't forget that that's what's helping you to keep this foot off the floor. Don't let it go away. Don't let it all go into your leg. And sending that circle back the other way, lifting, lengthening, bringing. I can feel my shoulders up into my ear. You can probably see it. So I'm really now trying to think of like hurling that shoulder down, sucking my pelvic floor in on 3, on 2, on 1, and rest. Oh, just take yourself onto your tummy and have a little jiggle, a little bum jiggle. Very good. Okay, we're going to do a couple of little bits on your back and then we're going to have a nice relax. Okay, so here I go. Oh, very carefully onto my back. I'm going to use my cushion. You know I like to use my cushion. I'm going to look down my body, make sure that I'm in a nice, good alignment. But there should be, oh, what kind of ball should we have this time? Let's have a cricket ball between your knees now. That cricket ball size. So then we know that we're going earlobes, 2 tram lines all the way through the body and out through your toes, like a pair of tram lines. So I'm just thinking about that nice flat plane between your hips and your pubic bone is that lovely triangle shape. I'm just going to tilt and rock that backwards and forwards until I can find that it's on a really even plane. So you should have a natural curve in the spine. That's okay. That's what we want. That's how we're built. You should have a little bit of weight in your toes. Be aware of your toes. And then when you've had a little rock forwards and backwards, just find your happy place. Find where you feel like you had your cup of tea. It would be sat there and it'd be happy, happy days. When you're comfortable, I'm going to interlink my fingers just at the back of my head, opening out my elbows nice and wide. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in. And breathe out and peel up. Take my shoulders off and I'm looking down towards that imaginary golf ball. Breathing in and breathing out. And again, breathe in and out. So I'm thinking about that lovely flat space, that great triangle between your pelvic, pubic bone, and your hip bones. Keeping it super still all the time. That's going to help your core to work its best. Peeling up and out. Okay, we're going to do another one of those. Peeling up. Pull that down. Now this time when we come up, we're going to stay there. Breathing in. Breathing out to peel up. Now staying there, we'll just breathe in. And as you breathe out, keeping both your hips really still, just twist as if you're trying to get that elbow to tap on the floor. Breathing into center. And the other way. No rocking in the hips. Breathing in and out center. And one more breath in. And breathing out to lower. Oh, hello, 4. That was quite intense. Let's try one more of those. Are you ready? Breathing in. Breathing out, getting my shoulders off the floor. Eyes towards my knees. Breathe in. It's rotation. Tapping my elbow towards the floor, keeping my hips super still. Breathe in. Breathe out to center. Breathe in. You can do it. Breathe out to twist the other way. Breathe in. Breathe out and back to center. Breathe in. Breathe out and down to the mat. Oh, lordy lord. Have you got it in you to do it one more time? Let's try one more. Just give your hips a little swing. I know I'm feeling the tension. I know I grip in my glutes terribly. So give it a little wiggle, and then really think about that lovely flat place there. Think about your cup of tea. We're going to do it once more. Here we go. Breathe in. Breathe out and lift. Eyes towards your knees. Breathe in, elbows wide. Breathe out and twist. Don't let those hips move. Breathe in. Breathe out and center. That's lovely. Keep everything nice and still. Breathe in. Breathe out. Twist the other way. Breathe in. Breathe out and center. Breathe in. Breathe out and lower. Whoa, well done. Oh my goodness. Oh, send your hands above your head. Send your feet far away. Oh my word. That was good. That was intense. But that was good. Well done. That was hard going, that last little bit. Right, let's have a little bit of a stretch, and then we'll have just a minute to take our mind somewhere else. So I'm going to bring my knees in towards my chest first of all. Just give my lower back a little massage after all that effort. Whoa, whatever feels nice. Either both knees round one way or the other, or maybe you prefer knees going in their own circles, like whatever feels nice for you just now. I'm going to stretch one leg onto the mat and then just bringing my opposite arm to my shin, just inviting it across the body. My focus goes away. Taking a nice breath. It doesn't matter, obviously, if you can get your knees to the floor, that's great. But what's more important is you keeping your shoulder on the floor. So just find where that stretch is. Try and relax in your glutes. Take a deep breath in. Breathing out, going a little further. Lovely. And then just bringing it back to the center. Have a little squeeze. Bring that knee up towards the chest. Give foot a little rotation. Feels nice. And then send that foot away. Let's do the same thing on the other leg. So I'm drawing my knee in towards my chest to begin. Taking an opposite hand to that knee, just gently placing it on the shin and drawing it over towards the floor. Keeping this shoulder on the floor and looking away from that knee. Try and relax and see. Just release the tension in your glutes and your lower back. Let that rotation, let that spiral happen. Really enjoy it. Enjoy that movement. And take another breath in. Bring it back to center. Give it a little squeeze. And send it away. Very good. Okay, so we'll just do a little minute of relaxation. So find your comfy place, either on your back or on your side, feet flat, wherever you prefer to be. I quite like to be in lotus position, which is like this. I find it's a really, really comfortable position for me. So find your happy place. If you are lying on your back, it's quite nice to rest your hands either on your ribs, so you're really aware of your breathing, or placing your palms up with your arms by your sides. And just take a little moment to draw your focus to your breathing without over having to breathe, which I know Pilates encourages. So find your normal breath. find your normal resting place, your normal curve in your spine. Just notice as you scan your body from head to toe, if we start at your head, working through your head. Notice if you hold any tension, in your brow, particularly in your jaw, if you do a lot of talking at work. Just give your jaw a little loosen. Let it go. Pull your mind in towards your neck. Be aware if your shoulders have just suddenly wiggled up towards, and if they have, just give them a little shift. Just make them aware that they need to be somewhere else. Be aware of this sheer size and expanse of your shoulder blades, of your ribs. Take a nice breath in there, a nice big sigh out as well. Fill those lungs. Scanning down the body, through the arms, down to the fingertips, down the trunk of your body, the space between your, underneath your arm and all the way down to your hip bone, such a far, long way. Send your mind all the way down. Recognize the beautiful natural curve in your spine. Recognize the size of your pelvis and the weight of that whole of your center. That whole middle part that supported your whole Pilates class, supports your whole day with breath, with food, with nourishment, with strength. Keep sending that energy down through the legs, the weight of your thighs, the natural curve, a little gap in your, underneath your knee, the size of your calves, the weight of your heels, that little gap in the ankle, where there's nothing that touches the foot. All the way through down to your toes. And just take your mind to each toe, from your big all the way to your little. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And let it go. Really fill those lungs this time. Here we go. Keep filling right up into every little gap, every little corner, every little moment, and let it go. One more of those big breaths. Let it go, big sigh. And then naturally let your next breath bring you back to your normal rhythm. And be thankful that you took this time, this hour to yourself today, to stretch and to move, to nourish yourself. And just like we have done and we will do today, I'm just going to let this meeting end. So I'd like you to stay where you are, enjoy this moment, wake up feeling refreshed and ready for a wonderful night's sleep, feeling rested, and wake up tomorrow feeling really ready for the next day. I'm going to stay here and keep breathing, keep enjoying. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again next time. And this meeting will end in 3, in 2, in 1.